Hello everyone and welcome to Divine Debut. How are you all? Thank you so much for being here. I hope that your weekend has started well. Today is the 24th of April. As you can see, I've got 0 Aries here. Let's look into the astrology a little bit, as this is what I usually do most times once a week. Hope that you're all doing well. Hope that the weather is good where you're residing. This is gloomy Greece for the second day in a row every weekend. We tend to have a lot of rain recently. Even though it's spring, yes, spring is in the air, the flowers are blooming, but the weather is still quite upset, if we could call it, well, heavy, when we've got so many clouds that are covering those ethers. The celestial energies are being blocked out. Everyone's feeling a little bit low, a little bit confused. Even technology with the internet today, it's just been playing up a lot. I think Neptune is up to his tricks. Anyway, so we're coming up to a full moon in Scorpio, everyone. And we know Scorpio can be quite gloomy, quite dark, quite mysterious. The energies are, the moon is filling out. As you can see, we've got the moon actually in Virgo. Here it's ready to ingress into Libra, where when the moon is transiting Virgo, it's also, the energy is like pick up those sleeves, get the work done. It's business as usual. Providing a service, being nurturing to others, being very motherly. Okay, maybe even because I see Virgo very much as Virgo is a very good detective. Virgo's got the ability to read between the lines, very good with the details. Virgo can be a little bit pressing sometimes as well, and sort of finger pointing and saying, look, this has got to be done, that's got to be done. It could be life that's showing us this has got to be done and that's got to be done. But anyway, the moon is ready to ingress into Libra, and it's just around the corner. We're just around the corner from the 27th of April when we'll be having that full moon, right? Full moon showing, receiving all the light from the sun across at the 7th degree of Scorpio and Taurus. As we know, the full moon receives the light from the sun. Okay, so it is in opposition. Obviously, the sun and the moon, they're in opposition. Okay, so as the moon is filling out, it can be, we're all a little bit emotional. That's what Scorpio is. We're trying to see the truth, what's been hidden, what haven't we seen. We're sort of probing deep with the Scorpio energies, even though the moon is not there yet. We're coming up to that as the moon is filling out. It's starting to culminate. We're just hours, if you think about it, away from that full moon, and it can be a very emotional, very transformative full moon, as a lot of things will be shown to us. Matters of money. Scorpio is the house of death and transformation. It's money coming from other sources. It's got to do with intimacy, emotional, physical, mysticism, anything that is dark, secretive, and hidden. Some skeletons may be coming out of the closet. We're finding out things about what was hidden. Okay, the sun is trying to show us what's going on. Anyway, so just looking at the chart right now, we can see that there is a lot. We've got so much going on in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is fixed earth. Okay, and therefore Taurus is very grounded, very slow moving, needs the security, the physical happiness. Remember, Taurus is ruled by Venus. And there's a lot going on in Taurus, even though we've got Uranus here in the sign of Taurus. So it's a fixed sign, and the fixed cross, which is Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius and Leo, this full moon will be touching more on the fixed signs, though you will be in pressure. Obviously, Taurus and Scorpio are the most affected, but if we imagine that the moon is here, and I will go forward in a moment, but to show you that the moon will be here in, for Leo and Aquarius, if you think about it, they're in square, okay, which a square means difficulty, something needs to change, okay. So obviously for all the fixed signs, it's going to be more pressure. I don't know what's going on in your own personal life, as Uranus being in the sign of the physical body, Taurus, plus also Taurus stands for finances, feeling safe and secure. Remember, Taurus is also the earth. It's the land, it's what I own, it's what makes me feel abundant. That's why Taurus individuals work very hard towards their financial security. But Uranus is here, so it does bring a lot of stress, okay? A lot of stress where the physical body is concerned. A lot of us will be rebelling, moving. That's what Uranus is. It's anxiety, it's stress, it's nervousness. So some of you may be feeling heated, around the collar, nervousness, tension, and with this full moon, which is like a crescendo, let's say, what's going to show up for each of us, we'll see. Because we've got Mercury here. Mercury is the left brain, it's the logic. Uranus is the right, higher mind. It's the intelligence, it's the scientific, it's the scientist, the crazy scientist. So we've got Uranus and Mercury today very close together. They're on top of each other. Yeah, they're right on top of each other here at both at 10 degrees, and Venus is not far off. Remember that Mercury it's very childlike, it's very curious. It needs to know what's going on. It's what do we do? Do we, if there's no logic in a situation, do we rebel? Do we revolt? Remember that Uranus can be quite electrifying as well. We have had some freaky weather, Uranus and Taurus, obviously, unexpected turns of events as well, as we've recently had Uranus conjoining with Venus. I don't know what kind of a surprise or a shocking revelation you had a couple of days ago. What was going on for you as, just after the Sun ingressed into Taurus, Uranus and Venus met up. Okay, they kissed. Now, so there's a lot going on in Taurus, a lot of fixed energy. All the planets are still direct. Mars has just a day ago ingressed into Cancer. It's on the 0 degree, which is a critical degree. 0 degrees of Cancer is quite a critical degree. And remember that Mars rules Aries and it rules Scorpio. So if we look at it in, if we look at the moon right now, it's in challenge. And if you think of the moon being the ruling planet of Cancer, this is a bit of a square here, which is sort of emotionally putting us in an uncomfortable position. Mars, think of a boat, right? We're wanting to go into the water, but the water is very shaky. There's rough waters, and we're sort of pushing the boat onto the shore, towards, like, off the shore and into the depth. Think of how the boat would be hit. So it's like trying to move forward and then finding an obstacle, finding depth, which is Cancer. Cancer is water, right? It's very emotional. So this could be quite challenging, where fourth house matters. If you think about it, it's the home, it's the mother, it's the family, it's your heritage, it's matters of the past. Okay, and Mars sort of cannot breathe in the water, and therefore it slows down. It's very slow, and it's very aggravated and frustrated. Those of you that are ruled by Mars, so Aries and Scorpio, could be quite frustrating, as Mars will be transiting through the sign of Cancer for a while. Now, just looking here at the chart, we're having, on this full moon, we're going to have Pluto also. Pluto will also be retrograding. So in about 3 days, let's just move the chart so that we could see what's going on. But before I do that, I just wanted to point out here that we've got Chiron, that open wound in Aries, a psychological, physical wound for others, okay? Remember that it is the medicine man. It relates to healing. Is it spiritual healing? Is it physical healing? Is it psychological healing? What is it? A sort of a wound where in Aries, who is the warrior, there's a wound that this warrior needs to heal. And through healing his own wound, which this is a lifelong wound, logically it does not totally heal, but through the experience, we have the ability to move forward and become the warriors or the holistic healers towards other people. So it's like finding a solution. Remember, Chiron is the key. Finding a solution to all these matters. And remember, Aries is the seed. Therefore, it's got to do with going on that adventure, taking that risk, being the warrior. And we've got a beautiful trine over to the south node in the house of Sagittarius. Okay, it could be spiritual healing, of course. And if we think of the mythology, I mean, Sagittarius is Sagittarius is depicted by a centaur, which is a half man, half horse, and they do reference Chiron to Sagittarius. So there's great similarities, and in the deity of Chiron, Chiron was also a centaur. So I believe that it's more than likely the same entity, right? So we've got a centaur, someone that's weird, someone that's different. If we shouldn't use the term, I shouldn't use the term weird, but someone that stands out, someone that is very different, okay? And if you remember in mythology, Chiron was not loved by his father Saturn. He was put to the side, so he obviously had emotional wounds as well as physical wounds because he was physically also wounded. So this wound could be any sort of a thing, any sort of a matter in our lives. It will be different for all of us, but with the trine here on the south node, it's talking about finding a solution to ending a karmic cycle in our life relating to ninth house matters. So the teacher, Sagittarius is the teacher. Sagittarius is also philosophy. It's being able to go on that adventure, having that vision for your life. What's out there? I want to discover. That's what Sagittarius is. I want to fly to other countries, to other cultures. I want to explore. But the south node is something karmic that we're needing to leave behind. Now, the fact that Juno is also very close to the south node says to me, and Juno is also retrograde, so we're sort of, Juno is the asteroid of commitments, marriage. Something is concerning a marriage, a commitment, your beliefs, your conditioning of the past. Maybe this is something that you're needing to let go of. Okay, what is your truth? Not what is the truth that you were taught by another teacher, by your parents, by your family, your past. So this is very helpful energy, and Chiron is also sextiling over to the north node. So the celestial help is here. but we need to take action towards them. We know that the North Node, being in Gemini, Gemini is the twins. It's like looking at both sides of the coin. Okay, it's being curious, researching. How can I heal this open wound? What do I have to do? Because the help from Spirit is here as long as we take action towards it. Okay, so Jupiter is still here in Aquarius. It's not going to be long before Jupiter will enter the sign of Pisces, which will be a blessing. I want to also just tell you what's coming up. So what we're having now, just around the corner, before I turn the chart, before I move the chart forward, we're having in about 14 hours, we're having Venus in the sign of Taurus, in its home sign of Taurus. Remember that Venus in Taurus, it's practical. It's what we can feel, what we can touch, what we can smell, what we can taste. It's not that higher realm Venus, which would be Venus in Libra. It's money, projects, my money, my food. Taurus is also food. Taurus needs those five senses tantalized. They need to feel good. They need to wear those silky pajamas. They need to feel comfortable. They need to feel love. Okay, so, but Venus is being squared by Saturn in Aquarius. Remember that the fixed signs, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus, are in square to each other. Therefore, as well, Saturn is at 12. Therefore, look at this square here. It's squaring Venus exactly. Mercury's coming up to square Saturn as well. Remember that Saturn is karma. Saturn is restrictive energy. It's something that's holding you back. A karmic situation, a situation of it's not time yet, or have you done the work before you can be free of this karmic situation that you're in? Have you done the practical work? Do you still believe in anything ethereal? Remember that Aquarius is very futuristic. Saturn has got to do with the old. Aquarius has got to do with the new. But Saturn also is ruled. I mean, it rules Aquarius. So we're dealing with the old and the new. And a square means there's a hold back. You know, we're being held back and repressed and not allowed to feel free. We're being pulled back, constrained, okay, from the authorities, from establishments, from the world order. Anything that we love is being held back. Jupiter, though, is ahead of Saturn. Jupiter is at 27. Of course, Venus, Mercury, they're moving up degrees, which means that they will also come to square with Jupiter, and that is obviously in the near future. Remember that Jupiter will expand on everything it touches, and a square means we need to do the work, turn the corner. Any matters of Aquarius speak of Aquarius's groups and associations, wishes and dreams, friendships, money coming through after earned income. Have you done the work so that you could receive? There's still work to be done, all right? The positive here is that Saturn is also trining over to the North Node. So we've got small moments of I get to see my future. I get to see, like I get a peek into the future of what I've been really working hard towards and what has been holding me back, or what do I need to do so that I could move towards the North Node. Okay, Saturn is showing us. Now remember, the positive with Saturn is that Saturn will reward you with something practical, something long-term, something that will be a reward because you've done the work. So therefore, we're also going to have in the next few hours, we're having Mercury catch up to Venus. So remember, Mercury is conversation, it's communication, to do with love, money, projects, values, anything concerning the Taurus energy. Okay, so remember that Mercury is, I work hard. It rules Virgo. It also rules Gemini. So let's, because I'm curious, let's have this conversation. I'm going to do the work. I'm sort of looking at the details. What do I need to do so that I could manifest this Venus, this practical, this reality? Now remember, as I was saying, all planets are still direct, but Pluto is going to start the retrogrades. So the windows of opportunity to move forward are starting to sort of start falling away. So what we need to know, everyone, is that, as I said, this full moon and will be happening on the 27th, and Pluto will be turning retrograde at the 26th degree of Capricorn. Well, 26, 27, you can say, if you look at the minutes. Now, Pluto is an outer planet, and of course, Pluto rules Scorpio, so it's got something to do with the transformation of the old order, of the old way things used to be, where governments are concerned, where karma is concerned. Pluto is turning retrograde, which means Pluto is more amplified. Therefore, we will feel his energy more potently. And Pluto can speak of riches, it can speak of the population, it can speak of being in Capricorn, especially governments, the leaders. What's going on with the world matters. What is going on? Why is the world the collective, going through such transformation? And why have we lost many people? Why do these things happen? What's going on with the patriarchy? What's going on with the patriarchy? There's a strong transformation happening on a collective scale and also on a personal scale. Pluto is very slow, remember. He's at the last degrees of Capricorn up until 2024. Things happen in stages. But it's really, really interesting that full moon will be in Scorpio, and it's connecting. I mean, how is it connecting to Pluto? It's that Pluto's turning retrograde, right? So Pluto rules Scorpio. What's going on? What's going to be shown? Because obviously the 8th house is the house of death and transformation, and Pluto in Capricorn, which Capricorn logically is the house of career. It's the house of the elder. It's our goals and aspirations. It's in our own personal lives. It's how are we seen out in the world? What is our social standing on a more personalized level? Also, what is very important, I can see here there's an inconjunction. Something needs tweaking. We've got the South Node connecting in a weird way. It's at 11 degrees, and we've got Uranus, Mercury, and Venus here. Something needs changing. Something needs fixing here, okay, where the South Node is concerned. Again, to do with karma, okay, something that we're needing to shed. The South Node is the dragon's tail. This is where we excrete, where we let go of old karma concerning conversations, what is true and what is not, what is futuristic and what do we love. Is there value in where we are now? If there is no value and there's no love and there's no security, it's time to shed the old. As of course, obviously, we've got a semi-sextile here. As you can see, the North Node is 30 degrees apart from this stellium of planets here, okay, which a semi-sextile is not an easy aspect because it puts us under pressure to bring the changes in towards our North Node, okay, and again, also even with Chiron here, because if you look at we've got 11 degrees of Gemini, almost 11 degrees of Chiron, and we've got 11 degrees here, so they're all separated by, they're all connected, I should say, with a semi-sextile. So all these planets here, they're in pressure, a pressure to move, to shed that, or to heal that open wound concerning our values, what is real and what is not, and are we on the way to our North Node? Now, for some time we've had all the planets on one side, so the chart is quite lopsided. Now that Mars has moved onto the right side of the chart, things are going to start gradually sort of balancing out, as of course obviously we've still got we're still in the time of Taurus. Well, the sun, we know, takes some time to get to Cancer. We're talking about June now, right? The time of Cancer, where, of course, Mercury, Venus, and the sun will be coming to conjoin in the house of Cancer. So things will start to sort of come into a better balance. But right now, because there's a lot of energy in fixed earth, and fixed earth is not easy because it's sort of like we're stuck, or there's stubbornness in fixed earth energy. We need to know that things will be real so that we could move. There's a sense of getting stuck, and I just envisioned the hanging man, which I see as obviously Neptune. It is Neptune and Pisces. And if you look at Neptune, it's squaring over to the asteroid of commitment, to Juno. Remember that Juno in mythology was Jupiter's wife, and Neptune can mean deception. The 12th house is very karmic as well. It's logically, it's either spiritual or it's just very dark. It's very karmic. Sort of an ending needs to happen as Juno is retrograding. And Juno, of course, is coming up to the midheaven, so it speaks of our goals towards our commitments. Are we in a committed partnership that is giving us unconditional love? Are we connecting to a spiritual, are we committed to our spirituality? Are we connected, if we could say practically, well, because there's so much Taurus here, that's why I'm saying practically, in practicality, in reality, are we where we need to be, or do we need to shed the old? Because remember that both Sagittarius and Pisces, they're both very spiritual. Okay, so what do we believe? Are we seeing clearly, or are we wearing those rose-colored glasses where our commitments are concerned? Okay, all right, let's move forward a little bit. Let's move forward a day. Let's look at what's going on here. What I've noticed about the 25th of April is that the moon will come to, will enter, of course, Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, so it's a feel-good energy. And there's a beautiful grand trine, grand air trine, right? And the grand trine is very flowy and easy energy. Now, we know that the moon moves very fast. So tomorrow, logically, even though we've got the difficult aspects of Saturn squaring over to Mercury and to Venus, we've also got beautiful energies with the moon moving through Libra. And a grand trine is something that comes naturally. It's just really helpful where our perception, our communication, our thoughts are concerned. Something may be shown to us as the moon is filling out. We're coming up to the culmination, the full moon. What is going on with the North Node? Something we will be feeling we may feel a sense of justice or a sense of feeling balanced, even though it's been hard. We could also, and I'm going to say, be seeing again something to do with our North Node. So what is fated? Okay, what have we been working hard towards? Okay, and what is materializing? So this could also be a peek into the future I see here. Let's go another day forward to the 26th of April. Okay, and well, not a lot has changed here. Let's just move a little bit more forward and look at what's going on now. Well, for those of you that have not joined me on Patreon, please do so as I go into the details one by one, very much into detail about what's going on with the full moon. I do the full moons and the new moons through Patreon, and I do a lot on Patreon, and I've gone into a lot of information. The people that are already there supporting me, they have replied that there is so much information there. I do go into the mythology. I go into each sign and how they will be affected. There's a lot that I do on Patreon. So what I've already mentioned this to those of you that are on Patreon. We've got a T-square forming here just after the full moon, which is a pressurized energy. Okay, and we've also got Black Moon Lilith here at the 14th degree. So just after the full moon, we're in a bit of a, tight corner. We're feeling trapped. Remember that this is pressure that is building, and it's got to do with Saturn, our emotional self, our transforming, whatever we're transforming after this full moon, and matters of Taurus, right? Black Moon Lilith is harsh thoughts. It's a deity. Black Moon Lilith is a difficult deity. She can speak of jealousy. She can speak of like losing your marbles. She's very difficult, and I've seen people going through transits of Black Moon Lilith that act totally out of character. Therefore, if you're in a position where someone is doing that to you, understand that it won't last long. Now, obviously, a T-square, what the sign that is right opposite is Leo. Therefore, the pressure can be let go of through Leo matters, through the 5th house. So the pressure that's built, the steam can be let off. It's like having a pressure cooker and taking off, like putting that pot when it's boiling and it's whistling away and there's a lot of pressure. You put it under the water and the pressure starts to die down slowly. Now that water, which will bring down the temperature, bring down the stress and the, worry, if we could call it anxiety, that will come through. What is Leo? It's love, it's nurturing, it's going out and having fun. It is ruled by the sun, and the sun is clarity. The sun is healing. It's generosity. It's performing, getting up on stage, speaking, being out there, right? And not hiding behind a curtain, because Leo, remember, is the child that needs to go out and play. We all need to be that child at this time and go out and get a bit of fresh air, play with our friends, have some fun, take a risk. Be careful with risk taking though, don't overdo it, and make sure that you can provide either clarity when it's asked for to a person who needs it. Give them that loving shoulder, which Leo is very generous. Remember also that Leo is leadership. Okay, so this could also be saying that it's time to get up and take action, become a leader, help others, let off some steam if you are so inclined to. But I feel because Leo is the heart, come from the heart, come from a place of love towards others, towards yourself. Just let off some steam in that in that manner. Okay, so what I also wanted to just mention is what's coming up sort of in the near future. We're still a bit far away, but we're going to have a Mercury retrograde at the end of May. So for those of you that are wanting to either sign any contracts or anything to do with communication, written, spoken matters, short distance travel, any business dealings, it's still, I mean, that window of opportunity is still open. Yes, Pluto will have retrograded, but Mercury will sort of start more retrogrades. May will bring on, so from the 15th or the 20th, after that, it's not a time to sign anything. It's a time of turning inwards, okay, because Mercury will be retrograde up until the 22nd of June. So for those of you that, especially that are Mercury ruled, obviously for you it's more important, Gemini and Virgo. Now, everyone has Mercury in their own chart somewhere. So I will be doing another video on Mercury retrograde. But remember that obviously Mercury being the ruling planet of Gemini and Virgo, Mercury retrograde will affect the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Okay? Now, mid-May, we're also going to have Jupiter ingress into Pisces. So that's going to be a blessing indeed. And end of May, we're going to have Saturn retrograde as well. Okay, so May we're going to have Mercury as well as Saturn retrograding. So I will speak more about those as we move along, coming closer to May, and we're coming into eclipse period as well. So for those of you that enjoy Patreon, it'd be great if you could sort of leave a message beneath the video that would be supportive, so that other people could know how happy you are, what you like about Patreon, maybe even what you don't like and you want to see changes with. Other than that, I think that's what I have for you today. Another last announcement is that, well, we're just around the corner from summer. Here in Greece, we've been on lockdown forever. So as we're starting to be released, because I feel as though we've gone through a prison cell, as we're starting to be released and feeling a little bit more free, we're going to need everyone. And I'm going to say this is the collective energy. Now, some of you have felt much more free and open and you're able to move around without any restrictions. I just wanted to mention that because Greece has been on lockdown a lot, and I've been living in Greece, so summer I'm wanting to take a little bit of time off. So those of you that are interested in a personal reading, just giving you a heads up that roughly, more than likely, July and August, I will be taking some time off. So those of you that are interested in a personal reading, start to think about it, because I am going to have a break, and there could be a long period of wait for a personal and private reading. So I thought I should just mention it now so that you know what's going on with Divine Debut. All right? Of course, Patreon will not stop. My readings will continue, but I'm talking about the personal and private readings. All right, everyone. I think that's all I have for you today. I want to thank you so much for your support, your love, your likes, subscribes, you sharing this video, and the love that you always show through your loyalty, even by commenting every time. And I know there's a lot of you out there that wait and you expect my messages, my readings every day, and I feel an obligation towards you, and that's why I'm practically uploading every day. At some point, I'm only human, I'm going to have to take a little bit of a break. So thank you for understanding, and Love and light to all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. I will probably be here tomorrow and Sunday for your daily message. Other than that, I'm sort of working on the private readings, and it's our Easter. It's the Greek Orthodox Easter, 2nd of May. So logically, next week is a big week for us. So I'm going to slow down just a little bit. Thank you all for understanding. Lots of love, lots of light to my beautiful friends out there. Look after yourselves. Love you so. Talk to you soon.